Hello by watching this video, my name is JustBot and welcome back to my Pokemon gyms of every type. Bug types I think are actually highly underrated. Yeah, sure, in some of the earlier gens, some of the bug type Pokemon couldn't hold up near the end of the game. But with some of the newer gens more recently, a lot of the Pokemon are really great endgame options. Even the bug type Pokemon that aren't very good later on are still very good usually for the first half of the game because they evolve so quickly and early. I mean, go and look at all the bug types and tell me you wouldn't use a ton of them in either just a regular playthrough or a Nuzlocke. Sure, not many bug type Pokemon would be your ace, but plenty of them would be very valuable members to your team. Gym 1 will actually show off how fun early generation bug types can actually be in the first half of the game. But first, we're going to go ahead and start off with our lead, Cutiefly. Most base evolution bug type Pokemon typically have a really low base stat total. I mean, like, horrendously low, but Cutiefly is actually kind of alright. Typically, base form bug type Pokemon tend to have a base stat total of usually like 200, if that. Sometimes a really good one might hit 250, but Cutiefly actually has a base stat total of 304. And Cutiefly actually has a really good stat. It has a base 84 speed. Now, considering that 84 out of 304 is gone to its speed, that pretty much tells you the rest of its stats are pretty bad. But in reality, that's still fine, because at the end of the day, having a Pokemon that can move first at a gym is still really helpful at the first one, even if it can't do that much damage. Our ace of the gym will be none other than Gen 1's Butterfree. Butterfree and Beedrill, I feel like from Gen 1, typically show how best bug types were viewed back in the day. Basically being Pokemon that you can get immediately early on, and they evolve by usually 10 or 12, and they're really good for the first half of the game. But we are going to go with Butterfree instead of Beedrill, just because I typically prefer Butterfree in most scenarios, except for when Mega Evolution is in play over Beedrill. Plus, Butterfree is actually able to learn Psybeam at level 16. With a 90 base special attack and an 80 base special defense too, it is very good on the special side of things. Our TM for the first gym will be Struggle Bug, which is a very strong move early on considering the fact it has a 50 base power and it also lowers the opponent's special attack by 1 stage. Part of the reason we have to use it though is because funny enough, a lot of the old bug type moves gotten a lot stronger over the years, like Leech Life. So even though it's a little overpowered and Butterfree can't actually learn it and it's just Cutiefly, we are going to go ahead and stick with Struggle Bug for our first gym. Gym 2, Cutiefly will actually still lead off the team and Butterfree will continue to back it up. We will have a new ace though behind Butterfree, and we went ahead and got a whole bunch of tips from Bugsy. We are going to go ahead and use Scyther as our ace, even though it's still fairly early on. But hey, we could always give Scyther a bad moveset early on to make it a little bit more balanced, considering the fact it has an entire base stat total of 500. We also have to make sure that Scyther doesn't get access to Technician yet, considering the fact if he did, I feel like all hell would break loose this early on. That's honestly an ability we could probably wait for until about Gym 5 or so. But I don't think I need to give too much more detail on how absolutely terrifying Scyther can be for the second gym. Gym 3, we're actually going to shift around the team a little bit. Butterfree will now be our lead, just to go ahead and try to get whatever damage it can get off. And Scyther's actually going to be moved off the ace spot, just for the sole reason that we're not using it to its full potential yet, and we'll keep like a bad moveset and bad ability for now. Ribombee now will actually be the ace of our team. Not only because it's evolved now and much better, but also because it ends up being one of my favorite Pokemon. I know Ribombee is a little bit of a weird choice to being one of my favorite Pokemon, but Ribombee alongside of like Beware and Toxapex instantly became some of my favorite Pokemon early on when I played Gen 7 for the first time. Plus, I know Ribombee is not the most threatening in the world when it comes to singles competition, but when it comes to double battles, it really turns up a notch. So I really would not be opposed from later on in the gym, Gym 8, Gym 7 or so, that we actually turn into a double battles gym, because there's not that many out there right now. With Ribombee's signature move of Pollen Puff and its ability of Sweet Veil, it really does make it a doubles battle monster. And I think that's really fun to have in your back pocket for now. Gym 4, everyone will actually go ahead and stay in the same spots. We just need a little bit more depth to help out with our Rock type and Fire type weaknesses. I think our Araquanid would surprise a lot of people with its really high defense. With a 132 base special defense and a 92 base regular defense, I really can go ahead and take a lot more hits than you could probably think. And with its signature ability Water Bubble, it really is not going to take any fire type moves for any major damage. And I know its base 70 attack isn't really anything to write home about, but at the same time it still gets the job done and is very useful as a good addition to the team. Gym 5 though, we are going to go ahead and move Araquanid to our lead spot, just because of the use of sticky webs will be amazing in any type of situation. The only reason I didn't put Araquanid in the lead spot for Gym 4 is I felt like Butterfree really didn't fit anywhere else on the team, and I felt like that was probably the last gym that I was going to be usable at. That does mean I don't think Butterfree would be able to hold its own anymore at Gym 5, so to go ahead and switched out with our brand new team member. Orbeetle is a very slept on Pokemon. Yeah, for competitive Pokemon, Orbeetle may not be the best option out there, but for regular playthroughs and Nuzlocke, can be an absolute monster. With a base 110 defense and 120 base special defense, it will not go down easily. Add on top of that a 90 base special attack, and it can really do a lot of serious work. Add on top of that the ability to learn Calm Mind and get the ability Telepathy, which will also help out a lot more in double battles. It really just fits the mold of this team extremely well. Gym 6, we're actually going to add another Gen 7 bug that I absolutely love, and another Pokemon that quickly became one of my favorites of all time, really to help out our flying type weakness. Vikavolt is very slow, but if it gets a hit off, it will do absolute insane amount of damage. With an absurdly high base 145 special attack, if it's able to get any type of speed or just not die immediately, it will cause chaos on any team it runs through. Just to make things even more annoying for my opponent, Vikavolt you can't sleep on defensively either. It's not great, but it certainly isn't a liability, and plus add on top of that its Levitate ability, it's just fantastic. And it doesn't even end there, it also learns Roost for healing and such, and it really helps out because it doesn't lose the flying typing because it's roosting. It just is a really crazy combination of moves and abilities that it has to work out very well for Vikavolt. We are actually going to switch out our TM for this gym as well too, because Struggle Bob is just starting to fall behind a little bit now at Gym 6. Bug Buzz is going to be our brand new TM that we give out just because it's really good and it gets around subs, and that's fantastic for me. Gym 7, we are going to have a brand new ace, and it's someone we actually haven't brought up in a while. Our Scyther got a brand new fancy metal coat and has now evolved into Scizor. Having Bullet Punch with the Technician ability we had earlier, we are really going to do major damage to anyone that comes in. Plus, add on top of that Scizor's only weakness being fire, that it's really going to just stay up forever as long as it doesn't get hit by a fire type move. That does make me think about though that we probably do still need a little bit more of a hand with these fire types, considering the fact that Araquanid is the only one that can do anything about it. Gym 8 then will actually end off with our last brand new addition. Volcarona has been a problem ever since it came out. It's always been a very alluring Pokemon to have too, especially because of how difficult it is to get in a regular playthrough, considering the fact how late it evolves. Volcarona also has an incredible base stat total of 550. And not only is it very good at 550, it's also very well distributed. With our last member being added to the team, this is how it'll actually shape up. Araquanid is the lead, Ribombee will be second, and would actually be the co-lead if we were to go ahead and be a double battles team. Third is Orbeetle, fourth is Vikavolt, fifth is Volcarona, and finally will be our ace, Scizor, or Mega Scizor if you really want. So I feel like this team really shows off how strong the bug type has actually become over the last few generations. Yeah, it's probably still not the strongest type if you go ahead and add up the base stat totals and average them out, but with how Pokemon have been treating the bug type recently, I would not be shocked if it climbs up that ranks very quickly sometime soon. It feels like Pokemon and Game Freak really made a conscious shift around like Gen 5 to really start giving us some really viable and very strong options for the bug typing. So I would definitely say we're in a very fun spot with the bug types, and I think it would be really fun to see what they do within the future. Especially with a game like Pokemon Legends ZA coming out, and they are already talking about adding more Mega Evolutions. I would love to see something like a Mega Butterfree, or possibly even a Mega Flygon that's Dragon Bug. Let me know though in the comments below what you guys would do with your bug type team, and I feel like too, let me know what bug types you want to see Mega Evolutions for sometime in the future. Obviously we got like Heracross and Pinsir that got Mega Evolutions and became significantly better for it, so let me see what other bug types you'd want to get Megas in the future. Other than that though, I would love to say thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and enjoy it. It's greatly appreciated, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Can you tell me there's an issue? I've seen it clouded all around you. Why can't you tell me there's an issue you've seen before? Or maybe can you tell